good, man. I'm chilling, man. No complaints. I guess my sleep has been weird, man. My
Hmm.
sleep has been weird. It's I was talking to somebody about this yesterday because she asked me, she was like, "Is there anything like different in prep this year?" And I'm like, "Prep is always kind of different. Like
Right.
it, it's never. I don't think nobody intentionally says, you know what? Well, I guess you can, but I don't necessarily go, yo, I'm gonna just change everything this prep. I'm gonna just do everything different. It's usually like you get better at it, just little tweaks,
Yeah.
but the way your body reacts is always completely different. You
Yeah. It's
know,
weird. It's
it's super
bizarre.
weird. This is
You would
why,
think,
huh?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
You would think it would be similar. It's the same body, you
Yeah.
know, and I take pretty, I take pretty good notes, but the notes never, it's just for me to compare, but it never actually like translates the way you would think it would from the notes, right?
I think the only way you can translate it is when you get a couple weeks out
Yeah, yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, well, what did I do around that time? Oh, I added this, or I was I had this many calories. In the looks, you start comparing looks, right?
for sure.
But you know what though? Every year there's wear and tear. Every year there's something else going on in life that is not perfect situation. You know, when people are like, "Oh, it's not the right time to prep," or certain aspects in life. You know, if you're worried about your job or business, I understand, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, some people are like, "Hey, it's not a good time for me." But you know, you'll never have enough money. You'll never have enough time. You'll never have enough support. You know,
yeah, yeah.
certain things just it's not a never a good time. But the one thing that I've started learning or started noticing, and Alyssa told me this, and I think it was in our little chat. She's like, "Well, you ain't getting no younger.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Better do it now." You know?
This is this is facts. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Chris Fine, and he told me something similar too. Because when I was gonna start prep, things weren't going too well, and I felt like I had a lot of stressors, and I was like, I don't even know if I should be prepping. And he's like, come on, man. It's a privilege, bro. Like you're not gonna be able to do this forever. And at some point you're gonna have to stop. But you don't have to make it earlier than you than it needs to be. Like if
No.
because there's gonna be a time where you cannot. It's not a choice anymore.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like
That's that's scary too.
that is scary to think about. And
Yeah.
then he's like, because you know how he is. You know he don't care about placings or any of that. He's not going into it like, yo, I gotta win. Like he actually loves bodybuilding as bodybuilding. Like
Right.
if Chris, if there was no stage to even step on, like bodybuilding gets banned or some shit, and and NPC shuts down. Chris
Right.
would still bodybuild and do a prep just to do the prep, just for the suffering. He would do
Yeah.
it.
I talked to him a bit too on the side, via DM, and we're just talking about issues that we've both had or have, and more on the physical side. Um, but it's just crazy how you don't know what anyone's going through until you start
No,
talking. You would think everyone's good. Oh, like this now. I'm like, man, my fucking elbow. I've been getting therapy on it. It's fucked up. I can't do triceps right now. My knees, like you start really breaking down like everybody, and everyone's fucked up. Ain't no one feel good.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
That's kind of the part he owned in on me because honestly, I mean, okay, yeah, we all got nicks. Like I got nicks and shit. Like it's a little bit of shoulder hurts today, a little bit of knee, or my back is fucked up for a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
like legit injuries, I don't actually have any injuries, which is amazing because I've done some crazy stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's more like, boy, you don't got no injury, you never had surgery, you don't need surgery. I'm
I'm
like,
well, I'm,
I,
I'm blessed in that category too, man. I've just dealt with like fucking like terrible, like tendinosis. Had to get a
Yeah.
bunch of PRP. You know, I had a partial labrum tear, but I feel like we all go through that at one point.
It's just
Um,
sometimes we don't even know what injuries we got. We
yeah,
never
that's
even
what
check it.
I know. Fucking, I had a rib pop out one day. I was doing rows. I don't know. We've all had some weird shit, you know.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah,
I think Chris had hip surgery, right?
yeah. He did actually. Yeah, he did.
Did he have shoulder surgery? No,
He
just hip
he
surgery.
he he's had I think he had a couple, bro. He had a couple
Really?
surgeries. Yeah, you know, with like a bodybuilder could have literally zero cartilage in both shoulders, and they'll just be like, yeah, I kind of got like a bad shoulder. I got to warm up, and you're like, I think this is more than a bad shoulder, bro. Have
You're
you got
like,
it checked out,
you got the MRI on that thing or what lately? You're like, oh man,
bro?
I take some deck, I feel great. I'm like, yeah, because you got nothing in your fucking joint.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they got this thing like a MRI they do. It's like a full body scan, everything.
Yeah,
You know,
I had
I
that done.
remember. Oh, you did?
Hmm.
See, I feel I'll be scared to get that done, bro. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, fucking a C4, C5 herniation, this that." I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, don't tell me that, bro."
They had shit. I was just like, yeah, my back's probably fucked up somehow. Okay, cool. Like, I was just worried about I did the full body because it was an actual cancer scan.
Oh
Uh,
shit. Hmm.
yeah, when I went to go get my calcium score test, they offered to do a full body scan, and they detect cancer. So I was like, "Fuck
Yeah.
it, let's do it." But they pulled up like your back and everything. It was actually very interesting.
Oh yeah.
So,
But the things like that don't make you nervous, bro.
um, yeah, I'm nervous to go to the cardiologist on Friday.
Yeah.
You know,
Bro, it's funny because you could get blood work done every 3 months, and it could be perfect. But every time you go, you get a little nervous. I'm like, I don't know. This might be what if this is the week? I don't know.
listen. I try to get an echo every year, and I've had higher blood pressure, higher
Yeah.
being in the 150s. Um,
Okay. Okay.
and now my blood pressure ranges anywhere from like 108 to like 117. But I know when I go on Friday, that motherfucker is going to be probably in the 140s, 150s. They're gonna be like, man, your blood pressure hasn't gone down. I'm like, no, it's
Oh,
gone. I'm
yeah.
just fucking nervous, scared.
Yeah. Yeah. That is wild. It's wild how that works.
I get scared
The
for my blood work.
Me too, bro. But every time, I don't know why I can't just get over it. Like
Yep.
I don't have any underlying issues. It's just in the back of my head.
Do you know why I get scared?
What's that? Why that?
It's because every time there's nothing wrong. And I'm always wondering, was this the time where something's gonna fucking be all fucked up?
Exactly.
God damn it, man. Sorry. People keep
No,
calling
you're
me.
good. That's exactly what happens because there's a little bit of the anxiousness that what if, because
Oh,
we it's a blessing to be healthy in general. You know,
and what we do is not.
that's what I'm saying. Let's say if we didn't bodybuild at all, it's still a challenge to stay healthy. You
Yeah, I
know,
wonder what I would do. What would you do if you didn't bodybuild?
it's a, it's a hard one, but like I could still work out for fun, right? But just not like
Yeah. Like you had no aspirations in competing. You just whatever.
I'm into combat sports,
Oh yeah?
but how much into it am I?
Mm.
Would I be in the world? Maybe. I was really into it as a kid, but like my family they would make me nervous about it. They would always talk about the negative, which is understandable for people who love you.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you necessarily get like
Hmm.
fight people all the time. So yeah, I'm into that. Um, I was really into cars at one point. I was really into
Okay.
fashion at one point. I think I would have, because my attention wouldn't be going to bodybuilding. My attention would I went to some of the other hobbies I've had. So um yeah, man, those are the only thing I could think about really. Gotta be something
You
else.
You ever think
Well,
your career was different?
I think so. I think I probably would have made sure I got like I probably would have furthered my education just in case.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not a big college guy, but certain fields, if you have a degree in certain fields,
Yeah.
you can always use it. I mean, if you, let's say, if you're a nurse, I have a friend
Mhm.
who doesn't actually work as a nurse, but he has his degree. So if he
Yeah.
needed to, he could always get hired at a hospital anywhere. You know.
My wife
You
is like
know.
that.
Oh, there you go.
My,
Yeah.
my wife is she's a clinical director.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
she works. It's it's crazy because sometimes I look at her. I've gotten more burnt out than she's. I've quit more than she's never quit. I think because I'm surrounded by it all the time.
Yeah. Don't you think it would be cool sometimes if you
I'm
had
surrounded.
a career outside of the sport and the sport could just be the sport?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yep.
Part of me like that's what Ken does. Ken has his job, has his career, and I mean he gets to work from home, which is convenient for bodybuilding,
Yeah.
but he's not always immersed in it. So
Mm.
it makes it fun, right? Like I still train clients in person. So
Right.
when I train a client in person, I have to go to a different gym to work out because I get burnt out of that gym, you know. And I remember when I used to work like odd jobs, I would do security, I would do all kinds of jobs. And then when I'm done, I would get so excited to go to the gym because I'm
Right.
not in the gym,
Yep.
you know.
Funny.
And I think less pressure on yourself too. So it's more of like a fun
Mhm.
project than like anything of a career, you know.
It's supposed to be fun, anyways, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I think sometimes you kind of lose that.
Yep.
That's when it kind of gets difficult, you know. But I think it's important that we make sure we're having fun because then it's not really worth it if you don't have fun, you know.
I think for myself, I know it sounds stupid, but like just like a either be like a football coach, like a high school football coach. I know you don't make good money and it sucks, right? But I think the joy of like developing young men would probably be fulfilling.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It would be that or probably military.
My whole family is military.
I'm talking
You know,
like deep, like
go all the way in. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean that. I think that's a great job. I
Um,
think it's funny you say that because I think being a bodybuilder, you're usually kind of person who, if you do something, you do it all the way, right?
mhm.
So I remember at some point I was debating joining the army because, like I said, with my family, the army, but I wasn't looking at it as like, oh, I'm gonna just do 4 years and get my college
Right.
paid for. I don't think about it. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to take it all the way. I'm going to be a sergeant in the first year, and then I want this to be like a real career if I
Mhm.
do it. You know, I think that's how we think. We gotta fully immerse to to
And
really.
the only thing that I just don't like how our military is taken care of after they leave.
I, I fucking hate that, bro.
I don't
I
like
fucking
that.
hate that. The sense of like we respect like a run in the mill like athlete in the NBA so much. And then the people keeping us free so we could do all this nonsense and throw balls around and do all this shit and go do some curls. We show them no love, you know?
It's actually crazy, bro. Like Hollywood actors, like I don't even get it, but
Yeah.
it's all propaganda.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It, it, the whole thing is wild, man. The whole thing is wild. I saw this video actually on Instagram. It was like an army vet. He was at the store shopping, And then one of the security just started pressing him. He looked like he might be going through it. I mean, as you could
Mhm.
imagine, he
Yeah.
said he said he was a Marine and something else, and he kind of looks like it. But he was well spoken. He was acting cordial. But the guy was pressing him like he was stealing something. And I don't know what state this is, but the security, it was armed security.
Mm.
And the guy was like, "Bro, what are you doing, bro? Why are you trying to be a tough guy, bro? Like, what is all of this?" And he broke it down, and the guy kind of felt stupid, because he was doing the most.
You got a RoboCop trying to tell a fucking Marine,
You
you
know what I'm
know,
saying? He's
the
you dying to use that gun for what? I've actually used that gun. It don't feel as good as you think it does. You know
but
what I'm saying?
I listen, I watched a lot of interviews, man, and like, we all can say like, oh, I'll fucking if your life came down to it in your house, I think you could have no problem doing what you have to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
This is different.
if your life is threatened outside or whatever. But I think it's really hard to pull a gun and use it on someone because if you
Yeah.
do that, your full intention is to take that life.
Hmm.
And
Sure.
like, I don't know what it is to kill anybody. I'm sure, I'm
No,
sure it doesn't. I'm sure if you do it, it doesn't feel good.
no, yeah, no. It just can't, man. My older brother has, and my older brother's an alcoholic, man. That's not a coincidence. You know, I think what happens is in the time. I've never killed anybody, but I've done things in my life that I'm not proud of, that I feel
Right.
guilty or bad for. And at the time, it doesn't happen right away, like right,
No.
like if you shoot somebody, oh my god, oh well, you'll probably feel bad right away. But the real bad feeling goes with you for years down the line.
Right.
And then you're trying to unpack it and you can't. And then you start behaving in a way where you don't understand why you're behaving that way. And it takes a while to shift through and realize that, oh, this is all like I was traumatized, not even know it. Because we don't like to even use that word. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
any trauma.
Mhm.
But yeah, everybody does. You just don't understand what that looks like until you're mature enough emotionally to get why you are how you are. You know.
I think the only time you could, I don't know. I don't know. I know the military is definitely different, right? You're there to do a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Exactly.
sure you go through courses and I'm sure you're in the military, so you're not going to be like, hey, you ain't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
act no
yeah.
pussy, because if you're around those types of dudes, they probably won't want you on their team.
Exactly.
If you're over
Yeah,
here
yeah.
crying about some, um, but I think in real life, man, I think it's also circumstances, right? I mean, if you got hot headed one day and you pulled a gun on someone, you shot him, I think, yeah, you're fucked forever. But I think if someone did something to a family member or something, and in the act, or I think maybe that might be more of a trauma less,
Yeah, yeah.
because you're saving some. I don't know. That's just me speculating. I don't know.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to say. I think in real time, yes, I don't think you'll have any remorse for somebody who tried to hurt your family in real
Right.
time. But I think down the line, you still feel some level of guilt just
Right.
because you start really thinking, who was that guy? Where was he from? Oh, maybe he didn't have a chance. Maybe things,
Right.
you,
Yeah.
you start
Family,
rationalizing.
son, daughter.
Yeah,
You know.
and there's a lot of truth to that because if you really break it down, I believe inherently human beings have empathy and are generally good-hearted, right?
Yeah.
There's some lunatics who have no kindness, right?
Right.
That's like, to me, I don't think that's human. I think that's like a disorder. I think the part of your I think you like a sociopath. The part of your brain that's empathetic is not wired correctly. Let's be real. Like
Yeah.
naturally, if you hurt somebody, you should feel something like, oh damn,
Yeah.
damn. If so generally, I feel like human beings are wired that way. So for somebody to be on a road that's just not good and they're hurting people's families, I think they're fucked up. It doesn't excuse it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you still got to you attack my family, you still got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's coming from a place of fucked up. Like everything is fucked up. They probably everything in their life has been fucked up, and they're probably just giving up on life
For
altogether.
sure.
You know,
I wouldn't know what it like. Imagine just going to someone's house and breaking in and
it seems
this seems crazy to me.
because it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I don't care how hard things are, right? A lot of people have it hard.
Mm.
People go sell drugs. People do a lot of shit
Yeah.
that's not it's not hurting people.
No.
But to say I don't have it, so I'm gonna take yours forcibly. To me, that's like, and who are you taking from? Like, okay, the corporate guys who like do the fraud, and then the bank just pays the person back anyway. They're like, you didn't really steal it from that
Right.
person. They,
Right.
they got insurance, right?
Right.
They'll be okay. But like to actually go gunpoint rob the store owner, it's like, yeah, he has insurance, I'm sure, to a point, but you just traumatized this person. You know,
Yeah.
you got him sitting there tied up and all. It's like that to me. I don't care how hard you have it. You're making that person's life harder by traumatizing them. You know, or God forbid something goes wrong and you shoot them. It's like I don't think it's. There's so many ways you could have tried to make ends meet.
Yeah.
That wasn't the way to do it,
Sure.
man.
I'll get right on OnlyFans and get after it.
Do it. Yeah, you got to do it. So,
I
Chris.
mean, you got
Yo,
that.
what's up?
Oh, there he is.
BT, finally good to see you, bro.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Just got done cooking some fish over here, bro.
I saw you eating
Oh
it.
man,
Fucking,
I could smell it. I
fucking
could
don't
smell it,
know,
man.
man. Good for
Hell yeah,
you.
man. How you guys doing? Hey, baby, I didn't know you was getting in on the USA's, bro.
Yeah. I want to do the USA and the North Americans.
Damn, that's what's up, bro. I'm glad you're doing it, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I wasn't too sure in the beginning, like if I was gonna do it or not, but um, we had some talks, and I feel like you know, we love it at the end of the day. So
Yeah, man.
if I don't, what else? I'm still gonna be doing it. Like even if I didn't do the show, I'm still gonna be bodybuilding. I'm still gonna be eating the food. So I might as well eat a little bit less food.
Yeah, big
Get up
facts,
there.
bro. Big facts. Hey, I'm glad to hear it, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. You doing North Americans?
Yeah, that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? I want to do a qualifier, but I'm really not too worried about trying to like hit that one perfect. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But
Yeah.
North America sounds like yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe on if your main show is a national show. I don't believe on trying to peak 100% and possibly taking away from the
Yeah,
yeah
yeah. Like
from
if I
the
was to
national
peak for a
contest.
local level, I wouldn't do anything. Probably maybe like a quarter diazide, but I wouldn't do anything crazy with my water. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you need
Yeah,
to when you're in shape. To be honest with you,
no.
but
Nah.
I'm gonna do a qualifier, and I don't plan on. I don't plan on cutting, but it's only a week before the USA's, like only a
yeah.
week.
I wouldn't
So I
fuck with
don't.
that.
Yeah, so I
That
don't
would
plan
be,
on cutting.
dude. I did my last two shows. I did like back to back weekends. That was the hardest shit I've ever done, probably. Like because your body's still trying to recover if you do deplete for the first show. You know.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just stepping on stage as is. There's
Yep.
no. I'm not depleting. I'm not. I'm not dehydrating. I'm not playing with
Right, dude.
water, sodium, nothing. Whatever I look like a week out, which should be already, it should be peeled before that,
Yeah, you should
right?
be in shape.
You might not be as dry, but that's the point because I know my body, and if I dry out, unless I can't. It's gonna be harsh, so I can't fill out. I can't dry out, rehydrate, and dry out
Right,
again
right, right.
in those 6-7 days, and
But
still
you'll
look good.
but you'll get a lot of information being under them lights of like what theoretically could have happened, and then you can go from there for the USA's. You know what I mean?
100%, because usually where I fuck up the most is that how dry do I need to get? Like I'll overshoot, be dry and be super fucking flat, or I'll undershoot and still hold some water. So seeing how I look on stage as is, that'll give me a better
Yeah, that'd
idea of
be
how
good.
much I. Yeah. So that definitely helps. I think if you're somebody who struggles with the peak, you shouldn't be doing one and done shows because you never get to work on the peak. You know.
Yeah, that's facts. I don't know, man. Every peak's different too, though. I mean, it's you know how that is. You know how that is.
We started the podcast talking about that because my
Then
friend
we
was
started a
asking me.
podcast talking about you.
Oh shit, y'all talking that shit. But Chris be talking too much shit on Instagram.
No. My friend was like, "Did you do any? Are you doing anything different this prep?" And I'm like, "It's always different, and it's always the same." But it's like, okay, I'll look at my pictures. Okay, I want to see what was my weight 10 weeks out last year, and you look at the weight, and it's like, that's weird because last year the weight was sticking in the beginning, then it just started rolling. This year the weight is just rolling, and then now it's starting to stick, right? And even comparing how you look, you're like, oh, I don't look as good as last year. 10 weeks. Like, why? I look a little fatter. The arms look smaller, but then 6 weeks down, you look 10 times better than you did the last prep, right?
Yeah.
You know, just things you can't account for. Why is that happening? Sometimes I have an idea. I'm like, yeah, well, this time I did this. I had my cardio was higher, and sometimes you don't know. It just is your body just decided to do something different. You know.
So many different components that can go into that as far as a training, nutrition, DNA, genetic, age. I mean, and it's all gonna play a role in it.
Yeah. So I'm always taking notes, but I'm not using the notes like a cheat sheet. I'm not saying what did I do? Okay, 6 ounces. Okay, let me do 6. I'm not doing that. I'm just making sure the pace is a good pace.
Right.
And maybe some errors I did. When the weight slowed down here, that wasn't good because then I started running out of time. So more so I don't make the same mistakes. But I'm not trying to copy the prep because that's just impossible.
But like, see what you're telling me, like that's bodybuilding, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
That's what I love about bodybuilding. Like the hunger or in the preps and the force feed, off season and training and however you want to train, like that's all comes with it. But what you do in that day to day, figuring the shit out is bodybuilding. Oh, I learned from this. Let me implement this. Let me do this.
Yeah.
You know.
And the funny part is it doesn't stop. Until your last show, it doesn't. I remember Jay saying that he learned from every single prep, no matter how much he knows. Till his last show, he was still learning, right? Phil talked about his last show. He was like, "Yeah, I made that one mistake. I should have not made it. I wouldn't make it again." We're talking about this guy's last show after winning 7 Olympias. He still made a mistake that he learned from, right? Dexter said the same thing. Oh yeah, I came in a little flat. I shouldn't have done this. Like after 40, 50, Dexter been competing for the 35, 40 years. And it's still something he learned in his last show of doing 100 shows. He still learns. So that's not going to stop.
That's like those guys will talk about like hitting their peak perfectly. Like how often do you hear a bodybuilder hits their peak perfectly? Like, man, that one time, it's like 1 or 2 times your whole time ever doing this thing that you're gonna hit it 100%. You know what I mean?
It should if you're lucky. Some people never hit 100%.
Facts. That's true.
Genetically, unfortunately, you have to be so good that you're able to win even when you're not 100%. That's the truth, right?
I'm still trying to get there.
Hey, we talking about the GOATs, right? Ronnie hit his peak. I would say 2, 3, 2. In my opinion, 98, 99, 2001. I don't consider 03 and 03 peaking. I just consider that just being big as fuck.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
No, we're talking about the GOAT here. Phil, 2011, 2013, and we're talking about one of the GOATs. So if they only hit their peak twice ever, how the fuck we gonna expect to hit a peak at every fucking show we do? What's this?
What is it?
That's just so much open. Sarastem.
Dang, running that high dollar over there.
Hey, bro.
That clinic ain't doing too bad over there. You know what I'm
saying? Well, I remember you guys were talking about this too. Actual real IGF.
Oh shit!
I've not seen that ever.
Yeah.
Dude not playing around over here. DT not playing around.
That's why I'm taking the year off. I said, "Fuck this." I was like, I can't do this. I can't play with the big boys like you guys. I need to put it aside.
Dang, DT, I was hoping you was going to do North Americans, bro.
I know. Honestly,
I wanted to just stand next to you, bro. That was it.
I think I'm on the smaller side. For what
How
everyone
tall are
is.
you, DT?
5'10".
You're still a pretty big dude. You're a lean 265, bro.
Yeah, in some areas.
What's your stage weight?
But I was 230 last time.
Yeah, you have to come up a little bit, but
yeah, I need to be at least 240, at least, in my eyes.
Yeah. You will be surprised how many guys lie about their weight, and a lot of guys are not that heavy, but those are the muscle belly guys, so they don't really have to be heavy, you know.
Unfortunately, I'm fucking white to the T, so you know
you gotta be big.
Yeah, dude, I don't have those bellies. I don't have that shit. You know, like I do get flat. My legs will go down if I push myself on cart. Like, you know, I don't have those big ass arms, and like it just happened. You know, whatever. We just have to work out.
Hey, y'all know Tommy Styles?
Name sounds familiar. Porn star?
Tommy's a good dude, man. Tommy, he's like he reminds me a lot of DT, just like one of those gritty ass, earned every ounce of muscle that they got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just,
I appreciate that.
You know,
it's hard after a while, bro. Like, you know, you sit there after a while, you look at everybody, and you're like, all right, you're fucking Chris is 280, fucking Baby's fucking 300. You're just like,
dude, I weighed 259 this morning, bro. 259. I have to accept that I'm not going to be the density that I was 34 years ago. It just isn't what it's going to be. But I think I can bring in some tight lines, though, to be honest. So, but I definitely can't outmuscle nobody, and I'm structurally still a white dude. So it's like I'm going to have to just get nasty hard, to be honest.
You posted a picture, I believe, at ab and thigh and a most muscular recently.
That doesn't even count. That's my best poses, bro. Like my side shots here.
But whether they're your best poses or not, you're just thick as fuck, dude. And you were fucking like.
But to me, I'm like, man, I wish my back double was what it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it's not, because everyone's like, oh, your ab and thigh, your most muscular. I'm like, you know, bodybuilding, your most muscular should be a good shot. Like, that should be expected in the super heavyweight division. But I was like, when you get to turn around and like, you really do gain a lot if you turn around. It's like, oh shit, this motherfucker's nasty from the back, and I don't have that confidence in the posterior like I used to. But I'm working on it. You know what I mean?
Your fucking rows are heavy. I mean, you're training like you and I do rows almost to a T.
Yeah,
like bend over rows. And people have always said, like, oh, you need to bend over more. I'm like, man, fuck you. Let me see your back.
I like to do them. I mean, call me crazy, dude. I like to use my traps and my rhomboids and I feel my lats when I come back. I don't know. I just feel how I do it.
Same boat.
You know?
Yeah.
Rowing 405. I want to see someone pick up 405, and then we could talk about rowing.
I mean, I used to row it for 20 reps every workout until I got hurt. Like that was our joke going in the back. There's like mandatory 20. We got to do it, whether we start with it or if we end with it. You got to row 405, no matter what it looked like.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I mean, bro, it's almost impossible to not use your back doing a bent over row. Like if you think about the mechanics of it, bro, even if you're 45 degrees, what do you think is initiating that movement? That's your erectors. For you to be 45 degrees, automatically your erectors are turned on, right?
Automatically.
And then even if you're just doing this, what do you think is working? That's your upper back and your traps. So now you got your lower back and your upper back and traps, right? So technically, it's not supposed to be a lat movement. You could use lats if you want to, but you don't actually have to. You could just do a different movement for lats, right? There's a bunch of movements you can go do.
Not to cut you off, but to add on to what you're saying, you can use a barbell row depending on like your setup, your angles, your grip, like to hit a lot of different areas in the back of what you're trying to hit. So it baffles me when people are like, "This is you shouldn't be doing it this way. You should be doing it this way." It's like, but what is your primary focus? Like when I train back, like I used to go from erectors up because I always want that thick lower lats. But now I have to go from upper to lower to get warmed up. So I do it reverse. So like I'm doing a T-bar for my traps. I go into barbell rows where it goes a little bit lower, like on that angle, the angle level to hit a little bit lower on the back. And then I'm doing a neutral grip row. So I'm hitting all of the back in these variations. So, but
Yeah.
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off though.
No. Yeah, you good. So yeah, I used to roll like super heavy, just yank it. Then I started getting like, I want to bring up my back more. Let me clean it up. Then I cleaned it up so much that I was trying to hit lats doing it. And then I'm like, out of all the exercises that I can focus on lats, this probably isn't the one that I should be hyper focusing on that. Because, I could do that with cable pullovers. I could do that with one arm cable rows. There's better ways for me to just only target lats. So while I'm doing this, let me get as much as I can out of it, which to me would be getting upper back traps, erectors, and a little bit of lat and rhomboids and shit. So I kind of went back to how I used to do it. Not as ballistic, not as heavy, but more similar. Like, let me just kill my entire back rather than trying to pinpoint something with a barbell, right?
What I feel like after you train like that, were you sore? Like, was your muscle sore in your back?
When I made it too clean, or when
you kind of went back to, all right, let me kind of move a little bit of weight compared to just strictly focusing on form.
So what happened is I started feeling it more than I used to, because what I think is early on when you start training, you just don't have a feel for your body.
Facts, bro, facts.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't even the weight or the form. It was just that you don't have the intent. I don't know. It's weird. Like I could do the same thing I used to do and feel it way up. Like I remember I used to do close grip bench. Feel no triceps.
This kid literally today was in the gym. My training partner works at the gym, and he was like, yo, this 19-year-old kid came in. He got a pretty good look. Ironically, the kid comes around, and he was like, hey, man, like, I'm trying to work this part of my lower back, and do you have a machine for it? Like, how do you target? I was like, you should deadlift, bro. Like, you're 19. You want bigger erectors. Deadlift, And he's like, nah, but what machine can I hit it with? I'm like, I can't help you there, bro.
You know what I think that comes from? I think that comes from all this scientific bullshit that people are putting out now.
Yeah.
I think there is a time and a place to change up your style of training. I do, because of the wear and tear. But
yes,
I do also think the best way to build tissue, and that's what bodybuilding is, the first 10 years of your career before you worry about fine tuning and shaping and bringing this up or that up, is a lot of food, a lot of heavy muscle, or a lot of heavy weight, and do focus on your recovery and mobility along that journey to stay healthy. And that's how you're going to grow, in my opinion. But, I've been wrong plenty of times before,
Why are we trying to carve something that's not there to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So I was at the gym yesterday training a client, and this guy, he comes up to me and he asks me random questions, and I usually give him like a generic answer just because the real answer is gonna sound like I'm being rude, just because the real answer is just not what you think it is, but it's gonna sound like I'm evading the question. So I've been careful not to go too deep unless I feel like this person's serious enough to understand where I'm coming from. But he's been asking me so many questions, and I kind of just watching him around, I think he's serious. So I'll finally actually answer this question, like not the answer he wants, but the answer he needs to hear. So he was like, "Yo, I want to grow my arms. Like, what do you think I should do?" So I took the time. I'm like, "Okay, what about your legs? Do you want to grow your legs? Yeah. Okay. Would you want to grow your back, or you cool with your back like that? Now I want to grow that. So why did you pinpoint that you want to get your arms big? Out of your entire body, why did you just pinpoint that? I think big arm looks cool. Okay. Do you want to compete? Oh, of course. Yeah, I want to compete. Are you trying to look cool, or are you trying to do well in shows? He's like, no, I want to do well in shows. I'm like, okay. So let's not focus on your arms, because with all due respect, everything is small, brother. It's all small. So can we not hyper focus on one thing that's small, instead of understanding that you need muscle everywhere? You need it. So I think people forget that. I want to get my lats. You don't have the traps, you don't have the erectors, you don't have that neither. So you don't need to focus on that. You need to just grow your entire back and
That's the funnest part about bodybuilding, bro. You know,
bro, they're missing the funnest part. Like, I wish I was perfectly even so I could just go train like I want to and not have to think, right? Because the funnest part was when you didn't have to focus, but people are skipping that step and focusing like as if that's the fun part. Like, to do this shit is the fun part. Like, we don't want to do that. We're just doing it because we kind of have to now,
But
so
getting that crazy pump though is a whole different sensation too, though, which is crazy.
Yeah, when I started and I was lifting, I didn't really feel much. I would get an overall body pump, but I couldn't feel my back or feel my legs. And now it's so easy to do it, and I could do it in two working sets. I have a full pump, whereas I would have to do 15 working sets to get a pump back in the days. So yeah, I'm almost going back to basics, but with my new body, and my new body feels it better. So it's kind of like I went full circle. And I kind of like it.
Who y'all got within the Pittsburgh?
I'm gonna have to. What do you say, DT?
I'm gonna have to go with Martin.
You think Martin's gonna win?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's a bold statement.
I think so.
I mean, not for nothing. I could have had him beating Derek at the Olympia, if I'm being honest. Like me watching in real time, I'm like, he's just as muscular. And he was, let's say he was just as shredded, but some body parts looked even sharper, I would argue. And
yeah, Derek wasn't. Derek's. I'm like Derek's Arnold was pretty gnarly.
It was,
but he wasn't that good. He wasn't as good at the Olympia, was he? He came up tremendously from the Olympia.
He did. It's night and day. The thing is, that wasn't Derek's best. That was Martin's best, though, at the Olympia. Now the thing is that it wasn't crazy far off, though. It wasn't like this is just a horrible Derek. He was off, but not like tremendously off, right? So he's way better right now, just as far as the peak and everything. But I think Martin is so much more better than he was at the Olympia, actually.
That's what I was thinking, and he's had more time, right?
He's younger.
Not to say that Derek isn't going to nail it again. I just think with the time that is given to Martin, I think we all know that he is a real bodybuilder, and all that time was meticulously put into play throughout steps to get better and better and better.
True.
Not to say Derek didn't do that, but I'm just saying when I look at Martin, I just see this guy has no fucks given, and he's going to do everything it takes. I could see where Derek would be a little more on the kind of side. That's just me,
dude. I'm so glad that Martin's on that energy right now, because like 3 or 4 years ago he was kind of out there, and I even threw a little hate out there, was like, damn, I wish this kid would get his shit together. But to see him like how he is now, dude, it's going to be pretty crazy, man. He's in a good space, he's got good energy around him, and I think as a bodybuilder, man, that's crucial to have. Is a great environment to be in, to do a good prep and a good off season and compete as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I love Nick, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I love Nick. I think, and I don't want to sound like, but I think a lot has happened to him in the past couple of years, that between the coaches, different supplement company now, back to Jersey, there's a lot of things that has changed. And as we all know, in life, things tend to get to you at a certain point. So I know he's 100%, but are you 100% up here?
I think Nick slopped back in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he's back. I think he's back to that. Let's just be who the fuck I'm gonna be in bodybuilding. Like this small waist, yeah, I know what it is, but man, the kid's gnarly, back, double side chest, most
Oh,
muscular.
yeah.
He's nasty, man. You know.
We gonna see what Nick is really made of this year.
Fact,
We
fact.
gonna we gonna see what the rest of his career is gonna be like. You know, from this year on. You know, because this is the time to do it, and he knows that, right? And these guys, they're all dogs, but they're different kind of dogs, right? You know, so it's like Martin is probably the a whole different kind of dog. That's why early in his career he seemed maybe a little unhinged, because if you don't have a place to point that pit bull, they
Yeah.
might go off and fuck up your couch or something. You know what I'm saying? They might fuck your Jordans up. You know, but
I'm so
but
glad he's in that mode, bro.
you know what I'm saying? But now Martin, he has a level of maturity with that, which came from, he said he did therapy, he do a lot of things he did. So now he's like a focused pit bull. And that's really dangerous because he's still that dog. Now he's just doing the right things with it, you know? Nick has a very calm demeanor these days, but Nick has that dog too. He just doesn't
Yeah.
show it as much. And he's really, even his training is really precise and focused. And it maybe doesn't seem hard to people, but
No,
me knowing,
that motherfucker's intense, bro. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who's trained with him in person or seen him train in person admits that they don't see many people train that hard. It's just a different kind of hard that people aren't used to seeing. But if you tried it, you'd be like, whoa, this is, you know. So he's still a dog, and Derek is a dog who doesn't want people to know he's a dog, right? So he tries to cover the dog with like I feel like he thinks it's the right thing to do to have the face on at all times, and he's not wrong. If you want to be that guy, the marketable guy, maybe the ambassador kind of guy, I get what he's doing. I think it's a different day and age. I don't think you have to be that way anymore. I think you can just be the dog, and people are cool with it. DT froze for a second.
I think he oh, did I? Sorry.
Okay, yeah. You back kind of. You back.
I think he definitely sorry, I'm going through a bad spot. Sorry.
No, you got.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
I think with him being a Christian, it's great. It looks good, but just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you can't be that too,
Exactly.
Look at Branch Warren, Johnny Jackson.
Guys, just
they're Christians, through and through. Brian Dobson, but I never heard someone curse so much in my life throughout a training session. But they, just because you do that doesn't mean you can't represent God and Jesus and live that lifestyle.
No, but I do think so. I think some people think that they think that they're not representing maybe their religion or family well if they do that. But I don't think it works that way. But that's just my opinion. I mean, he's a grown man. He don't do it, But I think people would love to see that dog side of him. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm sure you guys were following the sport just as long as I was. When he first got onto the scene, he wasn't holding his tongue. He was saying he was going to beat Flex. He was talking his shit to the point that they used to get into it. Like him and Flex really got into it, actually. So that's being a little younger and immature, but that part of him is still there. I feel like he put a cork in it. He's trying to tame it. I don't think you need to tame it. Fuck it. Fuck taming it. That's who you are.
Just let it go, man. He's just, I mean, it's just an athlete who's a competitor. That's real. I think athletes all have multiple personality to a certain degree, because you can't always be in athlete mode. You can't always be intense, like, final fourth quarter pressure. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I see it in Derek. I see Derek as that like intent, because he had a wrestling background. So that's that's a one man team. You get on the mat and you leave it all on the mat. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I have to believe he brings that into the gym when he's training. You know what I mean?
Bro,
So
wrestlers are different, bro. Wrestlers are
facts.
different. They don't get the respect. Yeah, I think they should. I was watching these videos. There was wrestlers versus BJJ. These wrestlers was fucking them up. Well, because the wrestlers, they have a different level of aggression. Most people who train BJJ, they kind of calm, you know. They kind of like, okay, let me get the guard. These wrestlers, they flinging these men, they flinging them around. I'm like, these motherfuckers. It's like the intensity is different. It doesn't mean that you can't win a fight, you know, but it's just wrestlers have that innate explosiveness and just raw, just you know.
Competitors,
So
man. Competitors.
you don't want to fight a wrestler, bro. You do not want to fight a wrestler. That shit is not gonna be good, you know. But yeah. So yeah, but I feel like Derek kind of put a cork on it. But that dog is there. Don't get it
Hey,
twisted.
where do y'all see Bonac in that lineup?
This new Bonac is impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, the more I look at his pictures, like that abdominal thigh quarter turn with oblique shot, that shit was nasty. Did you see that? Where he hit
Yeah,
the
it's getting
he's
better,
full
bro.
again, bro. He's full again. You
Bro,
know?
some of his weak poses, his front relax has always been a weak pose. Bro, he posted a picture of the front relax. I'm like, bro, this is starting to look like. I'm like, I wanted to repost it and be like, imagine this is this man's weakest pose, and take a look at this pose. It looked insane, right? Imagine, you know. So at first, I thought it was gonna be Vito's doing Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be Derek, Nick, Martin, Vito. Now I think I don't think Vito can beat Bonac yet. I'm sorry. I think
You don't
Bonac
think
is
Vito
still
can
too
be
good.
going? Yeah, I mean, dude, Bonac was polished. What was it at Detroit? You know,
He was
and he's
insane.
just getting better. He's in a good headspace too with his interviews and stuff. It seems like
Yeah.
he's just fucking rolling. You know what I mean? Loving it.
You guys think Vito? I mean, he can beat Bonac, but do you think it's likely that Vito is going to beat Bonac yet?
I don't think so.
Man,
That's what you guys
I got
think.
to see them next to each other, man. I think Bonac overall is just a little bit
Yeah.
ahead. You know, Vito's not there yet. If I'm being honest, but damn, so it'll be a good comparison for sure.
The density and roundness, Vito has he has it in his quads for sure, or legs. But
Yeah.
the upper body, Bonac's legs have improved now out of nowhere, but his upper body fullness and roundness is much more pronounced than Vito. He gets in just as good a shape.
His
Sometimes
side
even sharp.
shots,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes even sharper than Vito's condition. So I
Bonac's
mean,
shots are like he's so full and complete. You know what I mean? Like
it's
his
That's the one you're
shoulders
talking
and
about, Chris, right?
chest. Say
huh?
what?
That's the one you're talking about.
What
This
do you
the
say?
shot. Yeah. The pose that I'm showing.
Other suppose.
Can you see it, Chris?
Nah.
Or you might have to
Swipe your
swipe to
screen.
the left or
Oh
right.
yeah. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. But even his side chest, like that's a nasty shot. That's what I was talking about. Is his abdominal thigh. But his side chest, man, is ultra complete. Like sweeps, thighs, hamstrings. His glutes are obviously huge. And I think
Yeah.
it's a great shot on him, man.
Yeah, his front poses somehow it's starting to get better again because he was flattening it out a little bit and now he just got it back. But yeah, it's gonna be hard for Vito to beat this guy just off of density and thickness. But let's see that side shot.
To me, that's a nasty fucking. eh.
Yeah, that's crazy. You
I
know,
mean,
but
what is he lacking there? Maybe a little fucking hamstring, like a little bit, bro. It's complete, man.
yeah, you know when you have huge glutes, it's hard to have a hamstring drop when 70% of your your leg is glute.
Your backside, your glutes.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's hard to have that ham drop.
Hey, when y'all are hitting that side chest, are y'all pulling your glute, or are you kind of relaxing your hamstring? Are you doing contracting your glute and relaxing your hamstring? I don't think I've
Yep.
mastered that yet.
I do
I
both.
contract my glute and I let my hamstring loose.
Damn, see, I don't think I've nailed that shot yet. Gotta work on that.
The only thing that I've noticed would help me is because when I like kick my leg back and I just scrape it
Yeah,
against my other one, so where like it's like I can't really flex it because it's already hanging, and if I flex
Yeah.
it, it like goes back up.
I
It's a
feel you.
weird. Not
My
that I have
my
good hamstrings, but
my hamstring drops more when I don't flex my glute actually. So what I do is when I first get into the shot, I don't flex my glute. I let the ham drop, and then after like a second, I flex my glute because it shows more detail when I do that. So I hit it, you show the drop. Once you see the drop for a second, it's not like it's gonna shrivel up.
Right.
It might lose like a centimeter, but I want to show the drop first because somebody told me that the judges care more about the hamstring drop than the glute detail on the side leg. So I'm like, okay,
That
let me
makes
show
sense.
that first.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to start doing that, bro, because when I pull my glute, I mean, my hamstrings fucking suck anyway. But when I pull my glute, my hamstring is like a fucking straight line, and I'm like, whoa, something's got to give here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. They
are
like to
you
trade
sitting
trade
up?
off.
Do you sit more upright on your side, or do you
Man, I don't.
squat down more?
I stand up more. I think I stand up more,
Yeah, yeah.
or that's how
See,
it
I
feels.
mean,
Anyway.
I'm not a posing coach or anything, and my hamstrings would suck. So I try to get every centimeter that I can out of any pose with that.
I feel you on
Um,
that.
Yeah. If you're trying to if you don't have a ton of glute and hams on the side pose, a great way to show more or create the illusion of that is when you kind of arch your back and stick your butt out a little bit. You'll see Sergio does it. Kai Green used to do it. Kai Green had glutes and hamstrings, but he did it anyways.
Hey, yo, how much you think Kyle weighed at that Keystone Classic in '09?
Which routine was that? Was that Dirty
The
Diana?
say,
wasn't Dirty Diana at that one, right?
Yeah, he wasn't that
yeah,
heavy back then. At that time, well, I mean, he's heavy. I mean, compared to his prime though, he was
You think he
probably
was
in the
like
I'm gonna say,
226, 229?
I think he was
uh,
probably close to 230, about if that.
Damn,
Yeah,
Kyle's like 5'7" too, man.
which is it's still big regardless. But
Yeah,
toward the end, bro, he was competing like in the 260s toward the end. You
man,
know.
Kyle never nailed it at the Olympia. His New York Pro routine was ridiculous. And the Australian Pro, remember when he went and
Yeah,
competed at Australian Pro? That
yeah,
shit was
yeah.
crazy.
My favorite Kais were the 2010 and 2011 Arnold.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That was like he was in it, man.
That's when he
my
was with
favorite.
Go ahead, DT.
No, I was just saying my favorite video is Kai's when I think he went to Australia, came back to Denny's. He ordered like a salad,
Oh yeah,
steak,
yeah.
eggs. Just
He said, I think I could go for another
yeah.
steak.
He's like,
Yeah,
can I get this the dressing on that as well, please?
Yeah, yeah. I watched that video, and then he's like that garlic bread he eats. Oh my goodness, bro, looks so good. Damn
bro.
memories.
Kai used to eat so much protein. I don't know how he even survived that shit, man.
Yeah,
He
a
would
lot
eat
of
so much
fish, man.
when
Fish
he
and
was.
steak.
You guys know Oscar Arden?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
He has some really like what would you call it? Aggressive protocols, man. As far as how much protein he would give guys, but only if you could digest it. And he said they worked up Kai to like 800 grams of protein.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Remember when he
that's
did that
just,
video? He was like, "People would die if they ate as much protein as me."
you know,
bro, he does
you know
it.
who I'm gonna ask.
He's like,
I
"You will go
actually
in the
have a call.
hospital."
I'm gonna ask Evan Satapani because he's my financial advisor.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna ask him what Oscar was giving him for food.
Bro,
Yeah,
I heard it
man.
was like a pound of tilapia meal, bro.
Well,
Ooh,
see, like people knock the old school aggressive shit, but that was still Kai's best looks. You know, when he was with George, liked the more healthier approach and not as hard and dry and not as big in the off season. And don't get me wrong, Kai looked insane with George, but I still think those looks with Oscar, if he
Me
just
too.
continued
Me
to,
too. Me too.
bro, it was like if he just he was gonna get bigger no matter
Was
what.
he? He
But
was in red trunks at the 11 Arnold. Was that the red trunks one?
I think the old hold on, let me share this. So this is the 010 one. I think I think this is when he
Yeah,
was
yeah, bro.
referring to.
When they prepped in the desert for the Olympia, and like if he just stayed with Oscar through that, they must have learned so much with his body through that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh, that's a
Hey,
10. Yeah, 10.
he also beat Phil, which this was a crazy Phil. This Phil looked like 2011 Phil basically. So Kai basically beat that Phil. If you think about how crazy that is, Kai
Dude, it's
beat one of the
clogged.
best Phils. Yeah, Kai beat one of the best Phils ever. He just couldn't bring it to the Olympia for some reason.
Dude, I remember seeing Kai at Bev's when it like 2012, maybe no, 2014, and he was sitting there on this bench, bro, and his fucking hamstring like sitting on his calf. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that shit is fucking nuts, bro. I was like 22.
You know that video, those videos of Kai when he was at Fifth Avenue gym. It
Yeah,
was like the like a turquoise wall, and he's
dude,
sitting there. He talking about,
I wanted to go train there, but they closed it down.
oh yeah, they closed. They kind of had to close down. But at that time, I was training at that gym.
Damn, that's dope, bro.
I,
That's
I
so
was I
dope.
was I was at that gym during those times,
That's so
and
cool, bro.
bro, it's crazy to see that in person. Like,
When you was a
it,
kid, when you saw that in person, were you like, what the fuck? Or was you like, I want to do what he doing? Like whatever the fuck he's doing, I'm in.
yeah, both of it, because I was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to try to look like that. But I didn't understand genetics and shit, but I understood that. I honestly looked at it. I was like, I don't think my body could look like that. I
I
don't
feel you.
think most people's body can ever look like that.
I
Because
feel you.
you couldn't explain, like, this looks crazy, but if you see it in person,
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's just like there's a look that only few people can get. Everybody's trying to look like that, but it's like there's only so many people who can look like that. And then I'm looking at it like, there's something. There must be something that I don't know that these people are doing. Which that's how you think at that age. I'm like, this guy is not taking the same test and EQ that I'm taking. It's
His
something
leg,
else.
his legs are nuts, bro.
Yeah,
Man,
like
I mean, I don't know, bro. I've heard the stories of like, what they fucking took back in the day. I don't know how much they took, bro. To be honest, I don't think it's really relevant, but I think they take more than they say they did, in my opinion.
Yeah,
bro,
I believe that because think about what like. There's not a lot of people that are truthful to what they take now because everybody wants to play down like, oh, I only take like 300 tests, and I'm only doing. I'm like, come on, man, like, let's be real,
Dude, I
be
know
fucking real.
I know like when I'm 290, when I'm 280, when I'm 270, like yeah, I'm not going to be holding 285 taking 500 milligrams of testosterone. You know what I mean? Like my genetics don't work like that. So,
Right.
you know,
I, I'm with you 100%, bro. Like, I need more, and I put my shit out there, and people are like, I can't believe I'm like, dude, well, that you
it
must
is
be a
real.
fucking genetic anomaly, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play bodybuilding as healthy as possible. But at the end of the day, it's bodybuilding, to be honest.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
in the beginning, I was like, these guys have to be taking crazy shit. Then hearing people, I was like, maybe not. But then go full circle, knowing as many people and as many pros as I do, yeah, they take a lot. They take a lot too.
Just straight up with it, bro. I mean, it is what it is, you
It
know?
is what it is. Here's the thing, like you forget lies. I've caught. I don't like confront people like, "Hey, you lied," but I've caught so many people in their own lies and they don't even realize it. you know. And I'm like, really? And I'll go look back at the message. I'm like, because I think I remember. And I'll go but look at the text. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you said you started taking gear in 2019. You only did this, but here is. I remember you talking about Trent and Deca, and this was 2 years before that. I'm like, boy, you're already better than us. You're already better than all of us will ever be. Why do you need to make yourself even more of an anomaly? You already are, because we don't look like that on that dose,
I don't
right?
know.
So
I think
Yeah.
it's a deep down insecurity that it hits their morale some type of way where they be like, I didn't take that much. Like,
yeah,
I don't think it really matters, to be honest. You know,
it
it
makes
really
no
doesn't matter.
difference.
Like, again, bro, you don't get on stage and they don't critique your bench press. They don't critique your diet. They judge what you fucking bring to the stage, bro. It's that. Welcome to bodybuilding. You're gonna see a
Yeah,
freak show. You know what I mean?
you can be put. It doesn't matter what your genetics are. You don't look like that video we just saw on 500 test. It doesn't work that way. Like, yes, you're a freak of nature, but you don't look like that from 500 tests and 20 D ball for a
Yeah,
couple. It
but like,
doesn't.
but not to go down that rabbit hole. Well, but back to what we were talking about with like, what was he eating? 800 grams of protein. You got to be locked in with that nutrition and training like he was as well, man. You know, that shit
Okay,
to get the body to respond anyway. You know,
that I think for most people that's the missing link. Now you're not gonna look like that, but you're not even most people. You're not even tapping into what you can look like because you're dropping the ball on nutrition.
Yep.
Most people they eat what they're comfortable with, not what they need to eat. You know, so that's that, including myself. I mean, when I started, I was just eating what I'm comfortable with. I mean, I would,
hell yeah.
yeah.
We all started like that, bro. You know what I mean?
To
Fucking
be
eat.
honest, like obviously I knew the food was important, but I didn't really know how important it was. So like, you guys know John Reagan, John Reagan.
Yeah, John.
So at like 21, maybe, he did my diet, and it was like 12 ounces of chicken, 16 ounces of rice. At the time, I was doing 6 ounces, bro, of each. So I'm like, boy, there's no way I could eat this. And he was like,
Yeah,
well, if you can, you're gonna look really fucking good. So I
that's
sat there
fair.
and I was for. He didn't even let me put up any sauces. He said hot sauce is the only shit you could use, nothing else. I'm like, oh
There's a time and a place, man, where you got to push the food too. You know,
yeah.
I don't think where we're all at, we have to do that too much anymore. But when you like 23, 24, 25, you got to push your fucking body to grow, man. You know,
And that shit wasn't fun, bro. I was sitting there forcing the food, but I mean the way my body changed was incredible, bro. That was the missing link. I was training hard. I was taking the gear, but the food I was eating too comfortably, you know. So you guys
Boys,
gotta
I'm gonna dip out, okay?
do your thing, brother. You already know, man.
I'm
EDC.
going to row for Chris tonight.
Hey,
Fucking for
hurl that
Chris.
shit, man. Tag me in that shit, bro. Hey,
I'll see you guys. Have a good night.
There you go.
Steven.
All right, brother. You down to do a couple questions before we sign off?
Let's get it, bro. I'm not doing shit. You know, I started
Well,
posing with Doug, man. You know Dougie Flex?
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Doug.
I know that. Yeah,
Bro, yeah, man. I love Alyssa, man. I send all my clients to Alyssa, but Doug hit me up. I felt like I needed guidance. I felt like he could help me out a lot, you know, with my maturity in bodybuilding. And Doug's you should get Doug out here, man, and just chop it up with him. He's a good dude, bro.
should
Real good
yeah,
dude.
I should. Yeah, he used to be training partners with Did he used to be training partners with Barrow? Or
Man,
just
they on Axe and Sledge together. But I
okay?
don't know if they train. He trains with Morgan Rice, OG coach. Coach like Zach Merkel went pro at a young age. Got
Okay,
Doug to go pro up in
I'm on it.
Pittsburgh. They got a
Yeah,
good thing going up there, man. He's good people. They good energy, man. Good energy people. You know what I mean?
fire, fire. Wait, where you live?
I'm in South Carolina at the beach, bro. North Myrtle Beach. I'm
Okay,
living
okay.
in paradise right now, man.
If that where you see yourself staying for the next 10 years?
Man, I don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I can't call it because I thought, shit, my phone might, somebody plug this shit up, but I can't call it because when I owned the gym, I thought it was going to be there for 20 years. You feel me? So when I was engaged, I thought, oh, this is the girl I'm going to be with. So now I just kind of live my life doing what I want to do. You know what I mean?
This is true. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's crazy because I think I actually saw this on an Instagram post somebody made. And men will sacrifice their happiness in a blink of an eye just to make other people happy, like, you know, family, love, you know, girlfriend, kids, whatever, without even thinking about it, without even realizing that you're doing that. We'll do it no problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny. After my relationship, I was in a relationship for 7 years, and afterwards, I felt lost, but it was because you put so much into it and you do so much and you almost like living based off of what that person wants, right?
So now
you know,
when you get older though, it's like now it's a time investment, you know. Like I don't know, I don't have any kids, so I can only speak from my own perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like the girl I'm with now, like it's a beautiful thing, and it's like there ain't no timeline on it, you know. I'm gonna enjoy it now. If things lead to one thing, on to the next. But like, I don't know, man. I just look at things a lot differently now because it's like you said, when you're younger, you with this one person. Oh my God, it doesn't work out how you want it to work out. You in a depression, and it's just like, nah, man. That was just time that you invested to learn a little bit from this experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
That's
kind
how
of
I
have
see
to.
it.
But at that point in my life, it was like I was here, then I meet this girl, then I do this,
Yeah.
right? Then I kind of like, I'm still the leader, but I'm like, what's this? What the fuck? What's this? I don't even know who I sent it. Like, yeah. So I'm still the leader, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's like I'm living based off of making sure they have what they need, but I'm not even asking myself what I need. Whereas
I
now
think I think relationships at a young age, for the majority, percentage wise, is learning because you really don't know who you are as a
not at
person.
all. You
So
don't.
like through your 20s, if you got something that works out, that's a freak accident, you know. I think when you go through shit, you learn shit, and you truly value who you are, your surroundings, your time. You kind of look at shit a lot differently than when you're younger, trying to come up or work shit out or figure shit out. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, you don't at 23. You think you're a grown man because
You
physically
think
you are,
so?
but
Yeah.
mentally, like like I didn't even know that we didn't align because I didn't even think about it. I didn't even know what my morals were. You
Facts.
know, I wasn't sure if I wanted kids or not. I was kind of like, I couldn't. I don't really care. So I wasn't set of who I am as a man to begin with. So how the fuck I'm gonna lead this person when I don't even know where the fuck I'm going? You know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
you get into it, and all that really happened is I just learned how to be a man. That's what the relationship did, because
yeah.
I thought I was one and I wasn't yet. So
I learned
yeah,
a
for
lot
what?
of shit. So you was just in
Yeah,
1 7 year relationship, and then that's it,
yeah.
or just damn? I've been in.
Before that, I was in it was on and off, but let's say 2 years total. So
So
two and then 7.
you've been serious with like two chicks basically. Then
Yeah.
that's dope. Man, shit, I've been with four, bro. Like 4 2 year relationships at best. Now
Oh
this one
yeah,
I'm going on to. It's
yeah,
experience. I look at them as like experiences, you know. And
yeah. That's what it is.
this one is a great experience, man. You know.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get into relationships because mentally for me to trust somebody because you're gonna represent me as well. So I have to trust you, and there's a lot that I have to
But
give you
but
access
not
to.
if
That's
you
hard for me.
but not if you I don't think that this person has to become a
Overnight.
part. like this person's still individuality. So she choosing to chill with you, you choosing as a grown individual to chill with her.
It's true.
Asking her to become a part is a big ask, you know. And
This
it's
is true.
like, you know, maybe you get there 3, 4, 5 years down the road, that's your wife, go back to the old school basics. But I feel like a relationship, man, is like, if I'm not bringing no wealth to your life or vice versa, that's on to the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's been the biggest issue with me dating now, because my expectations or my standards is too high. Like I want them to be this person that realistically they can't be that right off the bat. Right. I want to be like, I
Yeah.
want to see this person. I'm like, yo, I trust this person. This person is 100%. They can't be all. We don't even know each other. So I can't
But
expect them to be this
you
this
can't go in,
person.
you can't go into a relationship with expectations either though. You
For
could
sure.
have like in your head,
Standards.
this is what I want in a woman, and if she ain't meeting that, cool. But like as far as expect, that's one thing for me, man. I guess I'm very like militant with a schedule. I can't expect everybody to be like that OCD about everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm
Fact.
like, that's my choice. That's her choice. How she living. I don't know, man.
Facts.
But you know what you want. But it's like always comparing this person doing, ah, man, I wish you would have told me this instead, or I wish you would have done this act of service instead. It's like if you go in with no expectations and then this person does something like, damn, that was thoughtful. I appreciate it. You actually think of me on your time. All right, I recognize it. And then if it keeps flowing like that, it's like, damn, this person is pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts. It's good, Justin.
What up? Sorry,
What's
bro,
up?
dude. I had like no service, and I was trying to download that,
No, you
and
good. You
I don't
good.
know what was going on. Dude. What I hear y'all talking about women.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know how we got there.
I don't even know,
We
bro.
kinda got,
I
yeah,
know, I know
it's
Justin over there waddling in the store. Fucking,
Bro, I'm in
yeah.
the best. I'm in the best grocery store there is. What you talking about?
where you at?
Where's that?
HEB, baby.
Dang.
Oh, there you go. Yo,
Yeah,
you
I'm in
come.
Texas right now.
Oh, fire. Oh, for what? What you there for?
I'm looking for apartments today.
That's real.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You mentioned that. You mentioned that. Which part of Texas though?
I mean, dude, I'm literally the apartments I'm looking at are all within 5 minutes of destination.
Hell yeah.
Fire,
Well,
fire.
5 to 10, 5 to 10. My bad.
Bro, you need to do that shit. You need to do that shit.
I'm about to pull the trigger, bro.
Hell yeah.
You know, I've been wanting to do it forever.
Yeah, I know you
Oh
about to
yeah.
do it. That's about to
That
level your game up so much, just like being around that shit even more, even though you already in tune with it. You
Yeah,
shit.
know?
but yeah, but having a gym like that you can train at and not have to worry about people looking at you and stuff.
Yeah, just doing what you need to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
That environment is everything. Like when I was there, that environment, I literally was I was gonna move there like right away. I was like, fuck, I'm not waiting. I'm gonna move right away. You know. But
That was my
I feel
plan
like
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of needed I needed a minute because I wanted like I actually for a lot of reasons I wanted like a little bit of a mental break from bodybuilding. I was still doing all the bodybuilding shit off season, but I didn't want to immerse myself yet. I wanted to get myself in a better headspace before, and then I just held off. But I wanted to move right away. I wanted to get go there. It's
It's
nice
dope,
here.
man.
that's what happens every time I come here. I'm like, I gotta be here. So I'm like, dude, it keeps pulling me here. Just do it.
Cool.
So I'm screw it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
meant to be, bro. And I mean, that's gonna feel more like home once you get there for like 3 months, and you're gonna be like, damn, Texas is home. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Yeah.
facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, we were talking about Bonac earlier.
Yeah.
You competed with him at Detroit.
Yeah.
What did you like seeing him in person? Was it different than
Bro,
seeing him?
it's something you almost can't put in words. Like
Hell yeah.
the roundness to the muscle bellies, bro. Like he's just moving, and his muscles are popping in ways that Like normal people can't even flex and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
one of them horses with the fucking veins running through his backside, bro.
bro, exactly.
Crazy.
Like literally, like his muscle just like ripples. And like I was talking to him backstage because I was in there watching him pose, and it does not even look like he's flexing when he's posing. And then I asked him, I was like,
He probably isn't, is he?
It's
here
probably
we
not.
go. I literally asked him, I was like, dude, when you're posing, how hard are you actually like posing? He's like, maybe 20, 30%. You know how you talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can tell because normally, like, if we're sitting there posting, you're going to see like our chest kind of rippling a little bit because we're flexing it, but we're kind of running out of breath. He can just stand there.
Why my
That's crazy.
260 don't look like his 260, bro?
Well, he ain't 260. That's the answer. He
I
was like
know.
228, bro.
That's crazy.
And I was
Yeah, yeah.
260 standing beside him and did not look like I wasn't outsized like size wise, but I don't look like him, you know?
Well,
The 3D on dude, everybody knows your shoulders, Justin, but the 3D on the man's chest and thickness through his chest and like back, thoracic shit is just
Mm-hmm.
fucking nutty,
it does.
bro.
It doesn't make sense, bro. Like watching the live stream and this is what I kept thinking, right? Bonac is a freak. Everybody already knows that, right? But in my head is like,
It is in this one.
I know how big Justin is. I know how freaky
Yeah.
Justin looks. Same with RPG. So then I'm looking. I'm like, why does Bonac at 5'5" look like this next to these guys? This is
That
crazy.
that brings me back to our Kai discussion of like guys fucking lower lats and ass and hams were
Touching,
fucking ridiculous, bro.
bro. Somebody said that Bonac's lat touches his glute, and I thought it was a joke. And I watched the clip
It
for a
really does,
second.
bro.
It actually touched for a second. I was like, bro, there's no way his lat made contact with his glute. What the fuck is this?
That shit's
And it's
crazy.
like his lats start from his ass, and it's like that doesn't even make sense. So we talk about genetics. It's just different. Like these guys are bigger than Bonac. They're bigger
It's
men, and even muscle wise sometimes. But
it's
it's just different.
it's wild to see muscle lay on muscle, bro. You know what I mean? Like the just like it brings me back to the conversation we had about Keon's back double with his the way he sets his hamstrings up, where he literally fucking sits his inner thigh is growing on his other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like that shit is just fucking. I mean, it's genetics, man. It is what it is. But
100%,
it's crazy to see that shit, bro.
hundred
Crazy.
percent.
Yeah, you should
Now,
see it in person.
Yeah, man. I got to get to some of the shows this year, bro. For
I'll
real.
be fine. Now, earlier we talked about doses. There are people who don't need a lot of gear or a lot of food. Some people
Facts.
are
Facts.
and Bonac. I remember Chad talking about Bonac, and he was like, "Bro, this is all you're eating." He's like, "I actually less. I'll probably actually out of those 6 meals, I'm probably getting 3 or 4." Chad was
And
like,
Or
"What
and,
the
and,
fuck?"
and another thing is like his girl, you watch his videos, like his little kids, they'll be eating his food with him. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
that's like Dexter. Whenever he said, "Man, I can't eat
I
that
remember.
much food anymore to compete." It's like this man was forcing himself to eat to be ready for the shows, not
Yeah,
starving, but like forcing himself to eat this rice and this chicken.
bro,
Crazy.
go back and watch. There was a Dexter DVD that was like 5 hours. I can't remember the. I think it was the Blade. It might have been the Blade one. He
Was he
was
in
like in
Florida
his.
or was he in Vegas or California? I think
He
it's
was with his.
California. Was he? Is it the one where he was in Florida still?
Yeah, he was in Florida because his wife was his girlfriend. I'm sorry, she's his wife now though. But his
Yeah,
girlfriend at the
that's what
time was there.
Dexter was nasty, bro. Holy shit, he was good.
But at that time, this is before George Farrell. He was really coaching himself, but he was kind of working with this other guy there. Um, and he's having like 6 ounces of tilapia with like 50 grams of grit. He's eating nothing and
Yeah,
having a
that's
bunch of
good.
shakes, and he still looked insane back then. This was in his mid 30s. This was some of his best looks. So at his best, the reason why he was able to stay on top is because he wasn't really bodybuilding to the full amount until he was in his 40s, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. He
what
just
if he? Mhm.
he's just getting away with it, bro. Like, damn, I'm this good. I don't have to do that crazy shit, you know.
I don't have to do cardio. I don't have to train abs. I don't even have to eat my bodybuilding meals. But what
Just got
if
to go to
he?
the gym for an hour after work. That's all he got to do,
He was
Yeah,
literally built like a ninja turtle.
you
he,
know.
he was. What if he applied some of the things he did? Now his career might have not lasted as long, but what if he applied some of the things that George Farrell forced him to do later on when he was in his prime, in his 30s? He probably would have been even crazier looking. You know?
Bro, it didn't resonate to me how many carbohydrates these guys can metabolize until after working with Justin. Justin opened my eyes up to a whole new
Which
like
Justin?
metabolic fucking genetic viewpoint. And it's like it's crazy how much like
Oh, this
who
Justin.
posted that shit where Sass was doing
You're talking about me.
200 grams of
Oh, oh. Yeah. You said 200 grams? Oh,
what
yeah,
was
yeah,
it?
I saw.
Of honey. Of
200
honey.
grams of honey would just fuck my stomach up. You know what I mean?
But 200 grams of honey, but what the? That's like a
Bro,
cup of fucking honey. What the fuck is
Didn't you
that?
put
bro,
that?
yes.
Somebody put that shit in the group chat. Who was that?
Yes. Yes. He eats, bro, when he does his high days, he'll do like, well, I don't know when he was doing 200 grams, but he was doing 100 grams pre and
Okay,
post workout of just honey.
I must have misread, but damn, that's a lot, bro. Like, like okay, you know how Kai was like, people can't do that. They end up in the hospital. Like, motherfuckers can't do that much sugar, bro.
No,
Like that
hell
shit's
no.
crazy. You
Wait,
know
wait. He told me that he does that. I'm trying to look at the find the. I
what,
think
dude?
he said he.
It opened my eyes up, matey, when you had him on, and he was like, in my off seasons, I might eat a cheat meal, then whatever I want is my last meal. And like I'm like, damn, like this man looked like that doing that is crazy, man. But his body just needed the extra dirty calories to grow, you know.
So he said he did that throughout. Oh, he's still in prep, but he said he was
Yeah.
doing that throughout the whole prep. Like he was having like really high days every few days.
It's crazy.
He said the lowest he got on prep was 4,500 calories. It was the
Yeah,
lowest.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't go under
Yeah, that's
about
crazy.
42, something like that.
Bro. And it's crazy. Look how peeled he was. Uh, Andrew is like 3 times his size, and Andrew was probably at like 1,500 calories.
Yeah,
It's hard to believe that it doesn't. It doesn't seem to make any sense why it would be that way, but it just
yeah,
is, bro.
bro. From coaching people, man, you see a lot of like crazy shit, man. Like once their body gives you feedback, it's like, all right, here we go. Like let's change this up, change that up, and there you
Yeah.
go. You know,
Now, it does suck to eat 1,500 calories in prep, but I wouldn't be that excited to eat 4,500 calories on a low day. I gotta be honest with you.
every day. Shoot.
Yeah. First with the money, bro. One thing I do save is a lot of money because I don't need a lot of food, so
Yeah,
I don't
true
want to spend
that.
that. I want to spend that money, bro. But yeah,
What
to
you
me
got? What do you got to
that's
spend on
insane
groceries per week?
right now. In
I don't
prep,
even
not
want to
very
know.
much.
And
In prep,
Justin living that fucking boss life. I don't even know. Just fucking swipe the card, boy.
you go. Not in
Well,
prep right
that's the
now.
thing about it. At this point, it's like
You
I'm gonna
have to
buy the
do it.
food regardless, so I don't even
I
look at
know.
it.
I know exactly what
I
you mean.
feel you. I wish I
Like
could get that. I wish I could get in that place mentally.
yeah. Shit. Right now it's just chicken breast, ground beef, rice. So, I haven't been spending much right now. Like, I'll spend maybe $100. Let's say if I go twice a week, I might go like 80, like $150 maybe a week right now, which isn't
Damn
bad.
man, you saving a lot. That's good.
I mean,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. That's not much. Off season, I spend more because I get a little fancier with the sauces and the amounts of food.
I feel
You
you.
know,
Supplements are fucking expensive, man. Like,
yeah,
you
they
know,
can, they can
all
get
the
crazy.
vitamins and protein powders and shit, you know. But
Uh,
every tool will help you get to where you need to go.
yeah. I don't pay for the supplements anymore, luckily, so that saves a lot of money. You
Hell
know,
yeah, it's a blessing. That's a blessing for sure.
shout out
Bro,
Blackstone Labs,
you
code much.
was
Huh?
shout out Apollon. So that
Hell yeah.
Bro, listen, that shit helps. Like, you know what's funny? It's like I'll hear amateur bodybuilders like just random guys with all due respect be like, "Yo, yeah, I want to get this much money," and I'm like, that never even crossed my mind. I'm like, just give me some free supplements is money
Fucking
for me.
supplement. Yeah.
That's bro. One point I was sponsored by Trifecta, bro. When I was
Damn.
really
bro.
doing social media, free food for us at least is a cheat code,
Bruh.
bro.
Dude,
Bro, I saved. So that's when I got the Hellcat. All that money from no damn. I didn't have to pay my food, but there was a glitch. They were oversending it. I think it was supposed to be once a month. They were sending it weekly, and then
Oh shit.
yeah, and then even when we stopped working together, somebody forgot to cancel it. I guess they kept sending the shit until I moved from that apartment. I didn't want them to send it to the apartment when I moved. So I was like, "Oh, can you send it to this address?" And they're like, "Oh, actually, the contract is up." I'm like, "Oh, okay,"
You
but
should
they
have you should
kept
have told those people to forward it. Be like, hey, just
yeah, bro. That shit was, and with all due respect, the food probably tastes better if it's not frozen. But it was. We're talking about frozen steak, frozen salmon. Once you freeze that shit, it's fucked. But
yeah.
I didn't give a fuck. I'm not paying for food, so I would take that salmon, put some season on it, heat it up, eat that
yep, put
nasty
some
ass stuff,
sauce on that bitch. Yep.
bro.
Bro,
That
It'll go down, bro.
if I could find a if I could get a meal prep company, bro, I would be like I would save so much money. It's not even funny.
100%. Even if it's like just the chicken, like chicken pound, just the chicken part.
Fuck
If
yeah,
you
bro.
watch,
What the
Yes,
fuck?
yes.
if you
Same here,
watching
bro.
chicken,
Anybody fucking wants to hook somebody up, I'm here for it. I'll promote your shit. Fucking
yeah,
best in the
yeah.
business, man. You know, best in the business.
Chicken pound follows the page actually. So hey, chicken pound, y'all watching? Like, well, we gonna do a great job of marketing. Just hook us up. So this is chicken, please, man. We
Hey, you fucking
hungry
hey, you getting your views up. You could put like a little clip in there, their
commercial.
picture, commercial
Yeah,
in there. You know,
I might, bro. That shit would be a game changer, bro. Free
Bro.
supplements, free chicken.
hell yeah.
And then you got Bio Labs, Code Abbott.
Oh man,
You on there, bro. You
bro,
in
you said, but that's how we think. We're like, well, I don't even need your money. Take care of that. Take care of that damn supplement bill. Take care of that
Shit.
food. I'm good, bro. Because where the fuck is my money gonna go? That's where the money gonna go anyways.
Facts.
exactly.
Forget the money. For the money, we work. We could go work for the money. But if you
Facts.
give us that, we set now. We good. We good.
Yeah,
Bro,
shit.
because if I buy a pack of chicken, I eat that basically that whole pack of chicken, maybe minus one breast, is one
Mhm.
day's worth.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah,
legit, like I mean, you're spending $200 on just chicken a week, like
this is true.
stupid.
Hell yeah, man.
That's
You 15 weeks out, Justin?
15 and a half, yeah.
You just said fuck it, let's run it up.
Bro, and then everybody's been asking me that. It's like, here's the thing. Whether I'm in prep, whether I'm in off season, I'm going to be eating 7 meals a day regardless.
Yeah,
that's
so
the
Like,
what you
thing.
do?
why not just be in prep? Because I finally got my feedback from Bill. He was the head judge at this show I guest posted at. And he was like, I never got back to your message, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, we need you. We need to see you. You need to be in more lineups. So why
Yeah.
would I not just compete? And if I'm moving to Texas, Texas Pro is 20 minutes away. Why not? Yeah,
All
it's
right.
going to be super stacked, but I'm going to have
Fuck
to
Who
it.
compete
cares?
against these guys
Fuck
regardless.
it. Who cares? What they say about your presentation?
I mean, I'm going to have to clean it up. He was like, first and second round, you did good, but that third round, you broke. And I was like, I definitely broke.
You're right.
Fuck right. During practice, man, with Doug, I'd be doing 3 rounds right now, and I was like, I could get through 2 pretty good, and third one, I'm just like, damn, my body just shot. So I gotta definitely put in that work on that.
Yeah.
That's
See,
a
I
whole
came
different
back
time
at
of bodybuilding.
finals a lot better. Yeah.
Hey, look back at the last 10 years of bodybuilding, for instance, right? Out of all the bodybuilders that regularly improve and place higher and higher and make improvements on their physique, how many of them actually take time off versus compete more often, right? Like we just look at it, right? The most improvements we've seen from anybody, probably Samson. He's competed more, not
And
less.
Andrew Jack.
Your body
Andrew Jack.
your body's so sensitive, dieted like that. It's like you got to take full advantage until it starts to go too much,
Opposite.
or like and then you got to reverse. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Taking full advantage of if the body's turning, why not?
Yeah. And then with all due
And I
respect,
finally got my fullness back. So
yeah, we've seen Regan and Rafa take a bunch of years off, and yes, they've added tissue, but they've been pro for the last 8-9 years. They haven't added that much tissue, not as much as these guys who've been competing regularly. So it's like taking these years off. All you do is stay fatter for longer, get less motivated,
Hey,
get less hungry.
What show is Reagan doing?
New York, right? Pittsburgh, New York. No,
is he doing Pitt?
I don't know if he's doing. He's doing shows around that time though. Okay.
New York.
Okay. Damn, might be dope.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do the thing to get better at the thing. When I played basketball, I was so fixed on being better. I was the practice player. In practice, I couldn't miss a shot. I was the best player by far in practice. In the game, I wasn't because practicing to really practice, you have to be in the game. The guys that just play ball, some of the best players on the team, they wouldn't even practice. They would just go play pickleball, go play basketball. That's it.
We talk about practice.
Exactly. So to be the best bodybuilder you can be, you have to actually compete. You can't just go take 3 years off and just eat. Like you have to give yourself enough time to grow, but you still have to step on that stage, right?
I can't take that mustache that serious, right? Big Justin.
Yeah.
That mustache, man. I like that look on you, bro. For real.
I got a mustache. I got to go cheat.
Really can't see this shit.
It's kind of white right now.
He needs the what are the things that come down? What is that?
What is a handlebar?
Yeah.
Handlebar? Yeah, man. I mean, Justin added a ton of muscle, and he's been competing.
Have you taken time off, Justin? What'd you weigh?
What, Justin? Me?
Yeah.
On stage?
Yeah.
Like 259, 258, 259.
Where do you think your best look was?
Shit. I lost my fullness for sure. Like my upper body was not near as full as it needed to be. I would say my best look that I liked was probably like a week out, maybe a week and a half out. I was probably like 264, but I was like fully blown. Like I was blown up. But when we got there, we just decided to push down, like not push down, like not trying to like lose fat, but we just restricted water pretty hard. And we also pulled growth hormone, which I'm not going to pull growth hormone this time. And I could just see it. Like I couldn't, my upper body just never came back to life. And it literally just came back to life like this week.
Yeah. So are you eating more right now? Obviously. Yeah. That's probably a little bit to do with it too.
Yeah, I'm not technically in prep right now.
I feel you.
Yeah. Well, this was your first show. I'm sorry. This was your first pro show, and the amateur ranks and the pro ranks, there is a difference, right? As far as the look, like not just the caliber, but like the look they go for, right? Pulling growth or pulling gear at the amateur level can really help you because amateur ranks, they're really just looking for condition and hardness. Pro level, they don't give a fuck how hard you are if you're not big, round, and full of shit. You know, so you actually somebody like you who has crazy lines in their glutes in detail like that. You know,
Yeah.
like you just got to be fucking full because you're still gonna be in shape. You're not gonna all of a sudden look fat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
So
what
like,
it is.
Well, even
yeah,
like the guy that plays second at Detroit, he couldn't bring growth hormone over here, right? And he pulled it.
yeah,
He said he noticed a total difference. So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe he would have beat Bonac. I don't know. Who knows? But he's like, I'll never pull it out again. He just didn't want to fly with it.
Yeah,
See?
can't blame him,
Yeah.
man. Sad that somebody couldn't have helped him out when he got here, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is true. Well, he's doing Cal. I mean, he could always stop by here. Whatever he needs, I got you, Sass. Don't worry about it.
You got
You,
that bio
you,
labs for him?
yeah, you good in Cali. You good in Cali. You got whatever you need. You know. But yeah, in the pro ranks, I would never recommend. Well, depending on who you are, but you don't want to trade fullness. You want to be in shape. You can't just not be in
Well,
shape.
here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Oof.
It depends on how your body is. If you're the black,
Eh,
bubbly guy, you can pull that
Gotta be
growth. But
for
if you're
sure,
that
for
white
sure.
guy that's conditioned and you're going to go flat very easy and you eat a lot of food already. So think
Yeah,
about if you were to try to compensate for food, what you're never going to be able to do, how much food would you actually have to eat? Like my legs, they were full, but they get full first. Now my shoulders, triceps, arm or biceps, chest,
When
back, it
when do
just
you start see a diminishing return with how much you eat based on your stomach? Because I'm seeing that this year is the hardest for me to control my abdominal right now. So
if we put it this way, in my head, I've fucked up if I haven't went to bed full as a house, and I will get up and eat again in the middle of the night. But I do like no protein, nothing like that with my last couple meals the day before. And if I don't go to bed completely full, I've already fucked up because then I'm gonna have to eat up 2 to 3 meals, big meals, before getting on stage, and that's when my stomach is
did
not gonna be at its best.
did y'all see the Jay Cutler Chris Aceto podcast where he was like, remember when we weighed in and we went to all you could eat sushi and he goes, you ate as much as you could on way home, you're almost about to throw it up, go to bed, wake up in the morning, be full as fuck, dry as fuck. I want to try
Yeah,
that.
as long as you can digest it, it's straight.
Yeah,
But that's something you'd have to do beforehand, like to know.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm really big on like I won't do bullshit food because I don't do bullshit food
Yeah,
the whole
ever.
prep. So like I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
but
Like
the
that's how I do
the
it.
the hardest I ever carved up was this last show when I talked to you and you. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to start carving up too early, and you're like, why the fuck not? Like, why would you wait if you think you need it? And I was doing like 800, 800, and 1,000, and I've
Yeah,
never done that shit before in my life. And I know that's common for people
yeah,
to do that shit, but
Well, if you start early, you could always pull back. If you
yeah,
started if you started Monday,
yep.
if you started spilling by Thursday, you could just cut it there. Oh, no
Well,
more.
if you start on Monday, you can also start lower. You can start at
And
like
work your way up.
500, or just
that's
say
what I
like, oh,
did.
I'm gonna go 30% higher than my normal ass day.
That's
See
what I
how you
did.
look the next day, and you just keep on adjusting, and so you're
What's
not. It takes the guesswork out of it.
But man, when you're in that spot though, as soon as you add like when you're in that 4 or 5 days out, you add 300 gram of carb. Usually you're gonna drop like 2 pounds. Then you eating 500 gram of carb, and then you play and
Yeah,
try to play
yeah.
catch up, and then you know you're gonna lose 6 to 7 pounds of water, so you got to replenish the carbs for that makeup of the water loss. So it's like, man, how do you get that much fucking glycogen in there? You know what I mean? Without
100%. If if I have a client that's like always flat, I'll start him early and early and early. I'm like, yo, we're gonna
hell
start
yeah,
Monday, and then let's say I add 50 carbs to each meal. 50 grams of carbs each meal Monday. That did nothing. He lost weight. I'm doubling it. We go
Hell yeah.
100 carb every meal. Okay, we filling out. My goal is to try to get him to spill by Thursday, because some of these guys, they won't be full unless you see the top end. What's too much? Okay, you spill Thursday, Friday, I cut it back down to baseline, and then they dry out. Sometimes I can't. Some people I can't
Yep.
cut it back down. I actually have to continue to go up because they start to overburn and lose
Metabolism's
weight.
already like this, bro. You know.
Exactly. And if the person doesn't have a good waist, I want them to be spilled going into that night, so they don't. I might, if I can have them eat nothing until maybe like a couple potato chips before stage. If I can have them eat nothing show day, perfect, because your stomach will be the flattest possible, right? If you're so full that you can go three,
You
4
just
hours
gotta
without
hold
eating,
that fucking look, bro. You know.
100%.
That's what the hard part is. Like, what time to just put this shit on the fucking stage, man? You ever wake up in the morning? You ever wake up in the
Well,
morning at like?
that's because no. Listen, that's why you need to take pictures after every meal, and you got to know how much water,
Yeah.
how much foods went in, and then you know, like, all right, well, really, my best look was at 3 o'clock. Well, yeah, your best look was at 3 o'clock. Your ass better put more food and more water in earlier to get to that 3 o'clock look by 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so you know you have to spill that night and then let it kind of fall off.
Boys, I'm a water buffalo, man. I gotta start cut water at like noon on Friday and just sip some water with a little bit fucking my meals. And then, bro, y'all ever wake up like 4 a.m. for a tan and you like half asleep, you look in the mirror and you just fucking gilled, like veins everywhere. And then you get
100%.
backstage and you're like, where the fuck did my veins go, bro? Like, come back.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is?
I think you're on the flat side. I think you're pretty flat. Once all of that goes.
If you wake up and you're fucking just thick skin vascular, 4 a.m. you would start eating. Like you want to hold that, or
yeah, you would eat.
Yeah, you got to eat.
What about sodium? Y'all fuck with sodium a lot, or you just kind of keep that balance, like stable the whole time? I've learned not to fuck with a lot of sodium, to be honest. Just like keep it fucking regular. I keep it regular.
I don't pull any sodium, but sometimes I have to add sodium.
If somebody, I add sodium the night before and the morning of.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Sodium goes up Friday night, and the meals leading into prejudging. Unless you're just like perfect. If you're perfect, I won't change anything.
Yeah, I don't change it at all unless I need to. But then in the morning, if I wake up, if I don't need it, I don't fucking need it. But I usually, once I start hitting them rice cakes with peanut butter, I'll start cranking a lot of salt on that too, and dry me up a little bit backstage.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm pumped to do this shit again, man. I thought I was done with this shit, to be honest with you.
It's fun, man. If you can't get a pump and vascularity, you got to up that sodium. You really got to up that sodium to get that like contraction, to get that tight filling.
I'm taking notes as we talking, bro, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I've learned so much just from coaching clients, man.
Yeah.
And like the higher the stakes get, I get nervous, but it's like that's the time to shine, because that's the time where I try to be super precise. Like I'm pretty old school, but I like to be on. If the body's really sensitive, I'll ask everything. How much times did you pee? Let me know every time you pee. Let me know how much you pee.
How many times you pee, how much you pee, the color of your pee, all
exactly.
That.
Yeah, I'm big on that. I'm big on that, but I'm big on digestion too. Any sign of bloating, any type of constipation, like I need food to be moving through you. Like I don't need 100%. I've been carbon up, I took a shit in 2 days. Like I need that food to be absorbed and then eliminated. You know, get 100%. What it needs from them. You know,
that's from my experience. Every time I've had the best peak for somebody, I saw the best look somewhere along peak week. So within the last 4 to 7 days, I saw the look that was the best look at least once.
Hey,
that look. Uh-huh.
I ain't gonna cut you off, but let me ask you just right. It's on the top of my head. Do y'all take any like type of stool softeners with meals Friday before, or like when you
No,
cut water?
I'll give you a secret though. No stool softeners, nothing like that. But you know, there's a shit called ballerina tea,
Nah,
and
I've heard it. Was it magnesium citrate or whatever?
nah, bro, we ain't taking no damn laxatives, my guy. But it
Boosted.
Why
just
not? Why
helps.
not though?
It,
Why not though? You know,
because you're gonna fucking flush out all your electrolytes as well if you take a
I don't.
laxative.
I don't take a laxative. I take the stool softeners though, but I don't take a laxative. I
I
don't
would
need
I
it.
avoid the
would I
bathroom.
wouldn't take any of that. I would drink this thing called ballerina tea, and if you don't take a dump in the morning, then it wasn't real because bro, you can't even make it to the out of the bed before you got to go. I use that. I use it every once in a while, like just on a regular day, like in the off season, like I'm full as like super full going to bed. I'll do that. I'll wake up, bro. I will go to the bathroom 3 times before even getting on cardio. Put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with digestion. My shit is 100% locked in on routine. But I'm just so scared that if something might go happen when I cut water. So I do three stool softeners on Friday with carb meal just to like, and then on Saturday usually I'm fucking good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's what I do. Not saying that's the correct thing.
Y'all ever had to use an enema?
Never. Thank God, honestly.
No.
I worked with Andrew Vu once, and literally my meals were a clean meal, burger and fry, clean meal, burger and fry, clean meal, burger and fry. Because I couldn't fill out, like he couldn't fill me out. He pulled me way too far down. And
Dang.
anyways, I literally was like just my stomach just couldn't handle it, bro. He was like, go to the store and get an enema, and I was like, what the fuck is an enema? And I looked it up. I'm like, are you shitting me, bro? I had to do that,
Yeah, that's not an image I needed in my head right now.
bro. It's it,
Girl,
it that was terrible, bro.
Yeah,
girls do that a lot. For whatever reason, girls tend to have a hard time going to the bathroom.
They
yeah,
get
because
backed
they,
up, but also because their food's so low.
bro, women
Yeah,
have to keep their food low. It is what it is, man. Like
I
I've learned
understand that.
every amazing wellness or bikini transformation I've had, they've just done a protein, fat, carbs here and there, protein, fat, carb here and there, just to keep their shit sensitive. But that's the best look I see until they build the tissue to tolerate the glucose. You know,
Yeah, they need to be
Yeah,
like above 150 pounds
a
to be
hundred
able to do that.
of muscle, and that's a lot
Like,
on a woman's frame, man.
yeah, but like you remember my figure girl last
Yeah,
year that won?
yeah.
Bro, I mean, dude, I mean, for at least probably 6 weeks, she didn't see a carb unless it was a high carb day.
Yeah, my wellness girl right now is in it, man. Hard.
yeah.
You feel bad for them, but you're like, you
Nah,
got to
because
get leaner than this.
I don't feel bad for nobody because I would do the same thing. And it's not, fuck, goddamn, it's not about being hardcore. It's just like, this is the requirements of bodybuilding. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks. I sympathize with you. Like, you're hungry, you're fucking starving, but if you want to get your best look, then this is just the requirements. This is just what it's going to take. You know what I mean?
Some of these girls are hardcore as fuck though, bro. So,
Badass, bro. Badass girls, man.
somebody because a lot of these girls they don't mind they don't actually want a lot of food because they're scared that they're gonna gain weight or some shit. So sometimes I find it harder trying to convince them to eat up. They're like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
I'm
for
good.
sure.
I don't gotta eat up. I'm like, no, you gotta eat up. No, I'm good. I'm like,
Or
just
like,
trust me. Yeah.
they've been they're fucking peeling out of their mind like I'm bloated right now. Like no you're
Yeah,
not.
but they always say that shit. Everything I'm bloated. I'm like, you say this every single day. You're bloated. You're
Like
just bloated
your
for life.
fucking belly button sucked to your spine. You're not bloated. You know, crazy.
Well, especially if you're used to wearing them high waisted pants, your fucking pants up here, then yeah, you once you pull that off, you're gonna think you're bloated all the time, right? You know. Well, all right, y'all. Let me go get this mail in, man.
All right,
Thank
man.
y'all.
All right.
Appreciate you, dog.
Thank y'all for coming on, man. But it's always nice chatting with y'all, man.
Yeah, man. Peace.